Hi there. Hope you're well and are having a good day or a good evening, whatever the case may be. In this video, I'd like to show you my collection of Hot Wheels. This Hot Wheels collection is from the retro entertainment line released in 2013 onwards. All of the vehicles in this collection are from TV shows and movies. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the TV show vehicles. I'll be doing a separate video for the movie vehicles. So let's get started. And we'll start with a very famous vehicle. This is a custom GMC panel van from the A-Team. An iconic vehicle. The A-Team ran from 1983 until 1987, and it starred Mr. T as B.A. Baracus and George Peppard as Hannibal. The GMC van is often mistaken to be all black, but you can see the top section is actually silver grey. All of the tyres on the retro entertainment line are real riders, rubber tyres. It's hard to see the detail still in the pack, but you get the picture. So let's take a look at the next vehicle. Also from the A-Team. This car didn't appear much in the TV show, mainly because there were 4 characters and this Corvette only had 2 seats. It was driven in the show by the character Templeton Peck, who was known as Face. The A-Team was made into a movie many years later with different characters. Here we have from Battlestar Galactica a colonial viper. Battlestar Galactica was a sci-fi TV show that ran from 1978 to 1979 in its original run. Roughly 10 years after Star Trek was cancelled, and around the same time that the original Star Wars was released. It only ran for one season, but was later made a movie, and then many years later was rebooted as another series. Also from Battlestar Galactica, we have a Cylon Raider. The Cylons were the villain in the series. You can see that inside the pack there is a stand, as these models obviously don't have wheels. I don't see a stand in this model, however. Which is a little strange. And next we have a very famous car from the 1960s. the Batmobile from the classic TV series starring Adam West as Batman. An iconic piece of design. This model is unique as it was designed based upon a Lincoln Futura concept car. And here we have a 1965 Ford Mustang from Beverly Hills 90210. This TV show ran for 10 years, from 1990 until the year 2000. And this car was driven by one of the main characters in the show, played by Jason Priestley. This model also has a moving part. The hood can be lifted. Here we have the Thunder Roller from a series called BJ and the Bear. This show ran for 3 series and 46 episodes. It's a very cool model. Known as the Thunder Roller. The model is a Kenworth K100 Aerodyne. It's really heavy, made from metal. You can see on the side that the name on the door is Billy Joe McKay. Billy Joe is the main character, known as BJ, and the bear is his chimpanzee who accompanies him while he works. I didn't see this series, so if you know anything about it, feel free to let me know if you liked it in the comments. And now, another iconic vehicle from the Brady Bunch. We have the 1971 Plymouth Satellite. This kind of vehicle in America would be known as a station wagon. The Brady Bunch was an iconic TV series depicting a family going through everyday life. It ran from 1969 to 1974, and it ran for 5 seasons. This model also appeared in the Brady Bunch. The 56 Chevy Bel Air belonged to Greg Brady, the eldest son. He would spend his time fixing the Chevy throughout the series. Moving on, we have the rapid responder from Emergency. Emergency ran for 6 seasons, from 1972 until 1977, and it ran for 122 episodes and 2 TV movies. Again, I don't know anything about this series, but I like this model. Meet the Flintstones. The Flintmobile. Which was owned by Fred Flintstone, his wife Wilma, and his daughter Pebbles. Also in the car you can see his neighbour Barney Rubble and his wife Betty, and their son Bam Bam, and their pet dinosaur Dino. You can see in the card art that there is a back seat, but we don't have a back seat in the model. This model doesn't have rubber tyres. Underneath there are thin plastic yellow tyres for it to roll on. Simple, but cool. Heart to Heart ran from 1979 until 1984, and it starred Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers as a crime-solving couple who drove this Ferrari Dino 246 GTS. I think this was the smallest Ferrari that was made. And is the first of several Ferraris that you'll see in this video. Now, back to cartoons with the Jetsons capsule car. The Jetsons was another cartoon produced by Hanna-Barbera. Though, whereas the Flintstones ran from 1960 until 1966, the Jetsons was much later, and it ran from 1985 until 1987. Another model supplied with a stand. Simple but cool. And now we have one of the most iconic vehicles from the 1980s. From Knight Rider, we have KITT. KITT stands for Knight Industries 2000. And it was driven by Michael Knight, who was played by David Hasselhoff in the series. It's a very cool model. The car itself is a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. And in the show, it has different modes to help Michael Knight fight the bad guys. One of those modes is the Super Pursuit mode. Which you can see here. During one episode of the series, this vehicle was pursued by Michael Knight and KITT. This is CAR, which stands for Knight Automated Roving Robot. It was destroyed in the series when it was tricked into driving off a cliff. This is also a Pontiac Firebird with a different paint job. Very cool. Here we have from Magnum PI, the Volkswagen Sonagun. Although the actual model of the van in the show is a Volkswagen Vanagon. Magnum was played by Tom Selleck. And it ran for 8 seasons from 1980 to 1988. PI stands for Private Investigator, and the Volkswagen was like a mobile office for Magnum. Another vehicle that appeared regularly in the show was the Island Hopper helicopter. You can see that Island Hoppers was the name of a helicopter charter service. I like these two. They're a cool pair of models, and as far as I'm aware, this is the only helicopter in the retro entertainment line. As well as a van and a helicopter, we have our second Ferrari appearing in Magnum PI. This is the Ferrari 308 GTS QV. This model didn't appear in all 8 seasons, and I believe first appeared in season 4. You can tell because this model has a vent on the front of the hood. I think this is one of my favourite models in this collection. Here we have another Ferrari from another iconic 80s TV show. This is the Ferrari F512M in white. This would most commonly be seen in red. So being white makes it stand out. But it fits with the feel of the show somehow. Miami Vice was starred Don Johnson and ran from 1984 until 1990. It became iconic for the fashions of the time. Along with the Ferrari, we have another model from Miami Vice. This is the 365 GTS4, the Daytona Spider. I don't like this model as much. Maybe it's the colour. What I do like, though, is this school bus from the Muppets. The school bus is known as Electric Mayhem and is transport for the Muppets band, driven by Dr. Teeth. It appeared in several iterations of the Muppets, both TV series and movies. Do you know what it says on the license plate? The Rockford Files was a crime drama starring James Garner, and it ran from 1974 until 1980. It was known as the Hotbird, and it was driven by the lead character. The model itself is actually a 1977 Pontiac Firebird Esprit. I like the colour. here we have another liftable hood. Back to Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And here we have the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. A cool little model. Scooby-Doo has been on the air since 1969 and continues to be made in some form or another. Here we have a 1980 Dodge Macho Power Wagon from the TV show Simon and Simon. It's not a show that I know anything about myself, but Simon and Simon were brothers who clearly liked to drive cool cars. The two brothers ran a private investigators agency to solve crime and help different individuals in each episode. It ran for 8 seasons between 1981 and 1989. Here we have the 1985 Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z. And finally, from Simon and Simon, we have a 1957 Chevy Bel Air convertible. This model is a year after the Brady Bunch 56 Chevy, which is also a Bel Air. Here we have from The Simpsons, the Homer. During one episode, Homer Simpson discovers that he has a half-brother. And Homer designs a car for his company to sell. Unfortunately, as Homer has a tendency to do, it goes horribly wrong. The Simpsons is the longest running animated series, sitcom and scripted primetime series in America. It's run for 36 seasons and almost 800 episodes. And finally, the last model in this video is the 1974 Checker Taxi Cab from Taxi. Which ran from 1978 until 1983. It starred Danny DeVito and Christopher Lloyd in two of their earliest roles. This is the A11 model of the Checker cab. An iconic sight in New York at the time. The A11 also appeared in the movie Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. It was also driven by Phoebe Buffay in the TV sitcom Friends. It appeared in Home Alone 2 with Macaulay Culkin and in Scrooged, driven by the ghost of Christmas past. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been relaxing. And hopefully you'll join me again in another video where I take a look at the rest of this collection, looking at vehicles from movies like The Italian Job, Back to the Future, Batman, Footloose, The Karate Kid, and lots more. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.